to explain. We just ask to live life our way. How is it one nation always exists? You just have to do what we say. Can one man be king of an empty land? His spirit destroying all life. Does he wonder why there's no one alive? Without armies, is he a man? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
The reason I'm here today is to protest against this most deliberate affront on the lives and survival of Indigenous Australians, the intervention program. The program set by the Prime Minister John Howard and the Minister for Families and Aboriginal Affairs, Minister Mel Bruff, is reckless and boorish. In the name of compassion for the children, he is most uncompassionate when he tears their foundation apart by forced health checks, removal from their families and quarantining of their income. This, he claims, will ensure that food will be brought and bellies will be full. He has not moved on the high cost of living on an Aboriginal community. The markup prices on all things are exorbitant and can't be balanced against any local market basket survey. We must stand together as a nation to resist and condemn the separation from mainstream Australia and society and the economy as a form of apartheid. It is immoral, unjust, and a crime against humanity.
I think it's fantastic to see so many people who are obviously deeply concerned about what's happening. But I just want to go back a few steps. All of this legislation was supposedly introduced in response to the Anderson-Wild report. That report had been publicly available for a period of some 6 weeks before the government introduced its bills. Those bills into Parliament comprised well over 700 pages of pretty complex and interrelated legislation. They had no intention of allowing parliamentary scrutiny or debate, and they certainly had no intention to allow any public comment or scrutiny either. In those bills, it does not mention the word child or children once. The other thing about the bills that I think people need to know is, first and foremost, it suspends the application of the Racial Discrimination Act. The other thing I want to say about the federal government's interventions is there is absolutely nothing in there that would protect women and children. And we would very strongly argue that the safety and protection of our kids is absolutely paramount. But if they were serious about protecting kids, then where's the money and the services and the programs that would do that? The government instead has chosen to create 700 new public service positions. In this first year alone, they're going to spend, hear me out on this one, they will spend $88 million in 1 year to manage the quarantining of people's incomes. If you couldn't think of better things to do with $88 million as the federal government, then you'd wonder why they're still there. But let me just tell you a few things about the lack of services and programs in our communities. If you care to check out the ABS census data, we have less than 2% of any of our communities that have things like early childhood programs. We have no preschools. There is a complete absence of substance abuse programs in our communities. And yet they say this is the sort of stuff they're trying to improve. Well, why wouldn't you spend $88 million on those kinds of programs?
This is a day that we mourn. That's why we put this paint white ochre on us to signify that we are in a state of, we've been hurt, we are mourning as a race of people in this great nation of Australia. So thank you for coming. First of all, I'd like to say the Howard government is is painting a bad picture about Aboriginal people. They are saying that all Aboriginal people abuse their children, that all Aboriginal people have problems with alcohol and violence. These problems are not everywhere. This is a generalization. In some communities, this is not the case. In my community, we look after our children. Our identity, language, and culture is still strong. More than 25 years ago, our elders decided no grog on our community, and this has kept our community strong. Our culture focuses upon caring and sharing, respecting each other, especially the children. Generally, people follow the law, like in White Australia, but in all societies there are some people who break the law. We have traditional punishments and penalties for mistreatment of others, lawbreakers. We have traditional conflict resolution methods. In the Northern Territory, Aboriginal and white leaders have been working for more than 10 years to bring Aboriginal law and Australian law to a place where they are working together for peace, order in our communities. Where respect is shown for each other's culture. We call this Magaya Room. This intervention is trying to undo all the good work that has been done. This is a moral issue. It is immoral to take away people's respect and dignity. Taking away everything we have struggled for is wrong.
I've been out bush in the last month. I want to tell you how much fear and anxiety and stress and real pain is out bush amongst our fellow citizens, in respect of whom no effort has been made not only to consult but to give notice of what is happening. On Wednesday of this week, I stood next to an old man who said to me, "How can I tell my friend," whose name I won't mention, "how can I tell my friend that he has just lost control of his home because his particular homeland has been compulsorily acquired and brought under the control of a white bureaucrat. He doesn't even know yet. He lives there." The friend to whom I was talking says, "Why should I have to tell him? How can I tell him? Why is there no notice of this?" We are a nation facing a great shadow.
What we'd like to do is spread the word out to all the children especially, that they're going to be safe and that there are lots of people that care about them. All the black mothers and all the black nanas, come on. We need you. So these are the people that stand up in the communities and make a big difference to what's happening in there. And we're the front line in our homes that are facing the problems.
But what you can do, come to things like this. Also, it's really important that everyone is enrolled to vote. If you're not enrolled to vote today, there's some enrolled to vote cards at the stall up there. Also, there's a lot of power in what we can do individually. We've got to talk to our families, talk to people down south and get them talking about this, because this is important and we need the whole country to know how wrong this is. Okay, thanks for everyone for coming.